be talking to you today about the anatomy of a vape kit. I'll also be showing you how to fill a tank and change a coil. Let's do it. So here I have Smok's T-Priv starter kit. This includes the mod, and that takes two 18650 batteries, so we can get this batteries here. You've also got your tank and coil here, and your drip tip, and it all comes together in a little box like you see here. Drip tips come in a range of different sizes, shapes and materials. The drip tip that you use really does come down to personal preference. I know that a lot of people do tend to go towards a more expensive plastic drip tip as they are better at warding off heat. It just makes it a bit more comfortable when you're smoking a hotter vape so that you don't burn your lips. A popular brand of drip tip is Delrin. Another one is Pyrex glass. So the idea of that one is to be able to see through the glass and see when it needs to be cleaned, which is very important. So most tanks are fitted with a standard 510 drip tip. So 510s, the fitting measures roughly around the size of a cigarette, and so we've got a couple of examples here. All of these ones in the front are 510 drip tips. So they are 8.5 millimeters in diameter at the base, which is just this bit here. And if you can see, it is kind of the size of a cigarette there. But the airflow diameter at the top does vary in sizes. So as you can see here, these are both 510s, same size at the base, but completely different sizes at the top. So you have your narrow bore drip tip. This one is favoured among the flavour chasers. So it just creates a stronger, more concentrated flavour because it is a narrower tip. So like this one, it does create a tighter draw. So it just makes it perfect for mouth to lung vapes. And then you've got your wide bore tips. These ones are favoured among the cloud chasers because it is a larger top. It creates an area draw and it's a lot easier to inhale, and it makes it perfect for direct lung vapes. Whichever drip tip that you do choose, just make sure that the diameter at the width matches the width of your tank's chimney, just so that you get all the vapor created. Let's move on to tanks and coils. So here I have the iStick top fill tank. Top fill tanks are great, and they're generally preferred among vapors because they are super easy to fill and they don't drip or make any mess. So this one here is made of Pyrex glass and is sealed with a rubber O-ring. That one just prevents leakage. So I'll show you here. We've got the rubber O-rings here. That's to prevent all the leakage. I'll just show you guys the coil. So this bit here is the coil. Coils are rated at different ohms, and they contain cotton and wire fittings, as you can see here. So this coil here is 0.3 ohm and is rated 30 to 80 watts. You've got some mods that are pre-programmed to run one type of coil. These are super great for beginners because they don't have to dial in the wattage settings on the display screen. Filling the tank is easy. All you have to do is attach the coil to the tank, fill the tank, and you're ready to go. But before you attach the coil to your tank, what you should do is grab your dropper, and if you just see these cutouts in the coil here, what you want to do is pop 1 or 2 drops into these little inserts. This is called priming. So what that will do is saturate the flavour into the tank and prepare your coil for use. So just making sure that you don't drop too much in there because you will flood the coil. So finally, I'll pop the coil back in, you screw it back on. Then what you do is grab your dropper and you're going to fill the tank. So you want to fill it about halfway, or you can fill it a little bit more, but just making sure that you don't fill over the little cutout here where you can see the coil. So I think halfway is pretty safe. Whatever you do, never fill down the middle of the coil. This will flood it and create something called gurgling. It will leave a bad taste and you'll find that your coil won't work as well after that. So here I have a bottom fill tank. These ones don't fill quite as conveniently as the top fill tanks, but to fill them, you just want to tip your mod upside down and unscrew. So just making sure that you're holding it there so that any excess e-liquid that you have in there doesn't spill out. Again, what you're going to do is prime the coil. So grab your dropper, a couple of drops of e-liquid into the cutouts on the side. And then what you'll do is fill your tank and screw it up, just like that. So just like you wouldn't put e-liquid down the middle of your coil, just making sure that you never put any down the chimney of your tank. This will cause the tank to malfunction and you won't be able to use it after that. So yeah, once you're finished, you want to screw it back on tightly and you're ready to go. Simple as that. Every 3 or 4 weeks, you'll want to replace your coil. For hygiene reasons, it is best to replace the coil rather than just cleaning it. They are pretty inexpensive, so I mean, getting a brand new coil will work a lot better anyway. So to replace your coil, just hold it upside down, unscrew the top seal, and replacement is as easy as taking out your old coil, just screw it out, grab your new coil, screw it back in, and it's as simple as that. So hopefully you know a little bit more about vapes and you know how to fill a tank and change a coil. Most important thing is to read the manual and take the time to get to know your product. After all, it is an investment. In no time, you'll be a vape expert.